is we are playing Tender Loving Care. So, what's Tender Loving Care about? Tender Loving Care is a full-motion video game in which we are going to experience the drama that takes place between these people on the screen. So much mature, adult drama. John Hurt driving a nice car. And he has the most 90s hair. That's a hairstyle from a very specific period of time.
Michael Overton.
Something wrong, Mr. Overton?
You're not quite what I expected.
What did you expect?
You're very young.
I'm qualified for the job.
Dr. Turner said your qualifications were excellent.
But you disagree?
I just expected someone with more experience.
I've been a psychiatric nurse for 6 years, and I'm a licensed psychotherapist.
I'm sorry. You just don't look like a Mrs. Randolph to me. I was expecting an older person, maybe a semi-retired widow or something.
If in your opinion I'm unsuitable, then I'll leave.
No, I don't.
On the other hand, if I don't fit your image of a Mrs. Randolph, then why don't you just call me Catherine and let's get on with it?
Okay, Catherine. Let me show you your room.
Thank you.
Getting off to a good start with this person who's gonna live in our house.
It's up the stairs.
I can't see anything wrong that's gonna happen here. That's weird. You should be old. Why are you a young woman? I don't know if you're good enough for this job because you're young.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to get started.
We'll be downstairs in the living room if you need us.
I'm just gonna start unbuttoning while you're still here. That's not a problem, is it?
Interesting.
Oh.
I hurt somebody's feelings just for the heck of it.
Oh, just for the heck of it? Who would do that?
I like to watch people doing intimate things.
You know, I have a feeling the chat is going to disagree on this, but I also feel that the chat, being people who watch streams, probably secretly agree. So yeah, this is real seventh guest type of gameplay. Oh man, okay. This is intense. I don't want that woman here. What does Michael think he's doing? Never listens to me. He never listens to me. That woman isn't going to touch her because we don't need any help. Hate nurses. They always stick that needle in so hard, so fast. This won't hurt a bit. Liars. After the accident, when I went into the intensive care unit where they were keeping Jody and a nurse was there wiping the blood off Jody's face, she wasn't cleaning her gently. She was rubbing hard with an awful hospital face cloth, all rough and starched as if Jody couldn't feel it. And I screamed at that nurse. I said that rubbing so hard would hurt Jody's skin, and the nurse just looked at me with a stupid expression like I was crazy or something, and I pushed her out of the way. Jody is scared at night because she's having nightmares like me, and in her nightmares, Mommy and Daddy were killed, and she's all alone. So I sit on her bed and hold her hand. I tell her that everything is all right, but I can't help feeling this horrible feeling, this terrible feeling that something isn't right, that something is lurking outside like a prowler, that scary feeling you get when you think that something is under the bed or in the closet, something bad is going to happen. You know, if we got this before they asked us what did we think about Allison, we might have an opinion about her.
Hi.
Hey there.
I'm Randy Vixen. Welcome to 1-900 Hot Licks.
Ooh.
Get ready for the call of your life. You have chosen fantasy number 17, Naughty Nurse Nellie.
Hell yeah.
Hello there. I'm the night nurse. My name is Nurse Nellie Naughton. You can just call me Nellie. When I'm not working at the hospital, I'm an erotic dancer. I have legs like a Barbie doll, but my hair is fiery red and curly. I have sensuous lips that long to be kissed, and my full breasts are just aching to get out of this oh-so-tight uniform.
I hear that.
Do you like what you see? Good. I thought you would. Now, it's time for your sponge bath. Why don't you sit up? Oh, that's good. Now I'm going to have to take off your gown. There we go. Oh, look at those shoulders. You must work out. And
Well.
oh,
I don't like to brag.
Some scar. I like a man with scars. Now, just lie there and relax. I need to wring out this sponge. Oh, doesn't that sponge feel cool and clean where it touches your skin? Mm-hmm. I'm washing your chest and your stomach and... My, oh my! What have we here? Looks like I've got more and more to clean every minute. Does that feel good? Oh, yes. Yes, it feels so good. It feels so good. Oh my. I'm gonna need more soap. There we go. Oh, it's so slippery and warm. You're going to be the cleanest patient in the entire wing. Oh.
It's so clean.
You're so hot. I think you've got a little fever. I can feel the heat coming right off your body. Oops, I dropped the sponge. I guess I'll just have to use my hand.
Oh, goodness.
Hold on while I put on a rubber glove. Oh, do you like that? Of course you do. Oh, relax. Oh, there you go. Almost done. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Oh. Clean as a whistle. You're my most favorite patient. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Now, that went on for a while. Also, I guess you can just call me 1-800-HOT-LICKS from now on.
Have you caught the Dr. Betty Show yet? She's smart, wise, witty, tough, and fun. She may even be just a little bit psychic. She's a wife and a mother with a PhD degree in family matters and human relationship analysis. Dr. Betty will challenge, confront, delight, and even frighten you. She's the mother you always wanted, the sister you missed out on, and the wife you can't have.
I don't want to combine those things.
Useful answers to your problems. Tune into KPRB every day at noon. Dr. Betty's the prescription your regular doctor forgot to give you.
Now, Dr. Betty can do everything and be everyone. I don't want a mother, sister, and wife all in one person. I can please let me separate these people.
Who are you? And what are you doing in my room? Oh, wait a minute, I see. You're the, viewer, right?
What?
I didn't realize you could just sneak up on me like that. I'll have to be more careful. You never know what I might be doing. Well, I have to meet my patient now. You're probably going to snoop around my room, aren't you? Guess there's nothing I can do about it. Oh well. You probably won't find anything too incriminating. I hope.
Well, that just confuses me. Wait, so she exists in the past, and we're learning about what happened in the past, but as we explore the house, she can see us. We're in the future, she can see us and talk to us, but she acknowledges that we are not human? Like, she can't stop us from searching her room? That just made things more confusing. The way he looked at me, watching his eyes wander over my breasts and hips, filled me with an unexpected rush of excitement. Part of me wanted to encourage those eyes, but the better part had sense enough to shut the door. I wonder if the idea of a psychiatrist abusing power might be something that comes up in this game. It is not sex. Despite what your eyes think they see, this book is not about sex or sexuality, sex organs, or the sexual act itself. Despite what the images may stir somewhere within you, despite whatever images may come to your mind as you flip through these pages, that's not what this book is about. It goes much deeper. It explores a place within us all where such sensual impulses simmer unseen, a space within our hearts and minds where we collect visions and sounds and textures and threads and weave them together to create something beautiful or monstrous or wondrous and horrifying. It's a place before and beyond sex that we visit often but seldom see. And if I stream here on this Twitch channel again, that is the new description for this channel. I mean, yeah, okay, sure, I drew a dick, but it's your fault if you saw a dick. I mean, I just drew lines on a page. That's all it is. You think it's a dick? I mean, that's on you. You thought it was that. I didn't do anything. That's all on you and your dirty mind. You've got a great webpage for your institute. It's a fantastic forum, the web. A great way to get to share one's ideas. That's right, my favorite forum is the web. You can't get a better forum than the web. Dr. Turner told me I should keep a journal. He said that I have a lot of anger about the accident. Anger is just one of the emotions that I'm feeling. I could have given him a whole fucking list of feelings. I sleep with my wife every night, but she's not really there. I see her walking around this house and it's like she's a ghost. I used to wonder what it would be like to go to prison. Now I know. I'm a prisoner here. Wow, not getting laid is really affecting Michael here. One night in college, I had one of the most erotic experiences of my life. Oh, good. We're going to learn about Michael's erotic experiences. Some friends and I went to a bar. One of the girls brought her cousin who was visiting from another school. The cousin was this real knockout. I mean, drop-dead gorgeous. And she was very sexual. Well, after a while, we were all pretty drunk. A lot more people showed up at our table, so the cousin playfully sat on my lap to make room for everyone. As she was sitting there, she started grinding her ass onto my lap. It was so subtle. Nobody could tell she was doing it, but it was driving me crazy. Then she looked over her shoulder and gave me this incredibly lusty look. Slowly, she hiked up her skirt in the back, and I realized she wasn't wearing any underwear. I couldn't believe it. She eased down my zipper and slipped it in. All of a sudden, I was fucking this girl in front of everyone. Nobody had any idea what we were doing. The sex was unbelievable. It felt so dangerous and thrilling. We barely said 2 sentences to each other that whole night. And afterwards, I never saw her again. Man, Michael, writing some fanfic here. No one actually believes that happened to Mike, so he's just, he's going to write it down, upload it to his blog. Anyway, this game, has some sexual content, you might have noticed. Just a little bit.
If you stare at your face in the mirror long enough, you will see the devil.
What? Oh, goodness. You know how Michael is about the sex. You don't want to put a half-dressed woman in front of him. He's just going to start humping the trees. We saw that note, that diary entry.
That was impressive. The way Catherine immediately seemed to penetrate Alison's shell and make contact.
Don't put it that way.
Is masturbation better than sex with another person?
All right. What does the chat think about this subject? I want to know what you think, chat. Let me move the pie chart out of the way so you can see that full question.
God has an influence on my life.
She's still writing like this. Jodie's body is so light. She's so light that it almost feels like she will float away, and sometimes she stares into space with this vacant expression on her face, as if she were seeing right through me, as if I wasn't really there. Well, today I was sitting on her bed. I began to weep. I was shaking and crying. I couldn't stop. Are you sad? Asked Jodie, and I told her that I was crying because I was so happy that she was all right and she's never going anywhere, that a seatbelt again. She'll never be hurt again. I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow. I'm glad. She mentions that Jodie is so light that it's like she's not even there, really. It's almost like she's not there. But apparently Jodie is talking to Allison.
Hi, I'm Dr. Betty Sharpstone. If you can't quite get your act together, if your issue is poor self-image and depression combined with a mix of self-pity, you need to read my new book.
Oh, tell me about it.
Myself, 10 Ways Women Can Get a Life.
Can I also read that?
I'm a single mother. I worked my way through college. I even managed to get a black belt in Taekwondo.
Amazing.
So don't try to tell me that you can't do it. Quit whining and get on track. A trip to your bookstore and a mere $24.95 could change your life. If I could personally come to your house to kick your butt, I would. But I can't. So I wrote a butt kicker of a book. Buy it today and listen to my daily radio show on KPRB. Now go out and get a life.
Man, if Dr. Betty can do it, certainly I can. I have a combination of depression and self-loathing and just am not able to do anything with my life. Why am I not going out and getting a black belt in Taekwondo? Man, Dr. Betty is going to whip me into shape. Maybe I should pay someone to beat me up. Allison is a diamond covered in mud, and Catherine is here to clean her off with her fluids, I guess, is how this is going to work. The phantom phallus was a manifestation of the childhood trauma. Phantom dick, huh? Is that how that... I'm not going to... I don't know enough to say that doesn't happen.
I need to get to bed. Warm milk. It's supposed to help you sleep. I hope it works.
You don't need warm milk, Michael. You need to jack it. I mean, just go ahead and do that. It's fine. I won't judge you. But clearly you need like an hour-long jerkin session is clearly what needs to happen right now. Not this warm milk business. We're gonna have to read Michael talking about Catherine, huh? I'm sure this will be very professional. Mrs. Randolph arrived. I have to admit that she's nothing like I expected. First of all, she's very attractive and young. She did something really strange. She began unbuttoning this sheer blouse she was wearing. I have to admit that I was turned on. She gave me this sexy look. I assume it was a sexy look, and she probably was just looking at me, but I see everything through this lens. I couldn't help but glancing at her breasts. I had a sudden impulse to touch them. It made me feel manipulated, though, like she... No, don't get, have these thoughts about her and then blame her for you feeling that way. That's not going to lead anywhere good. Like she's toying with me. Maybe she doesn't think about this stuff since she's a nurse, but it seems so inappropriate. For a second, I had the notion of firing her on the spot. I don't know. Was she flirting with me? Teasing me? It's so hard to tell. I don't know if I like her. Every time I tried to start up a conversation with her, she blew me off. No, she ignored you. Maybe she just wants to keep everything on a professional level, but I was hoping we would be working closely together to help Allie. While Mrs. Randolph was getting acquainted with Allison, I took a walk up in the hills. I hadn't been up there since before the accident. It was such a relief to be able to leave her alone. I realized I need to get away from the house more. Maybe now that the nurse is here, I can go back to work. I feel that this is going in a bad direction if we're only on day 1 and Michael's already on, I'm so turned on by Catherine, that bitch, how dare she turn me on. This is not a good direction to go in. I really only had one great friend in my life. Mark Sievers, my best friend in high school. Everybody at school loved him. They all had high hopes for Mark. He was sure to get an athletic scholarship to a good college. Mark and his family moved into the house across the woods. Across the woods the summer before my freshman year. I was sitting in my tree fort one day when Mark climbed up through the hole in the floor. Wait, is Mark Willie Beamish? Mark got away with everything. People instantly liked and trusted him. All the girls were in love with him, and he was incredibly lucky. He always won. Mark is Willie Beamish! We're talking about Willie Beamish! During our junior year, Mark's family had this German exchange student come and live with them. She was beautiful, really tall and athletic, pretty face, blonde hair, sly, sexy smile. We both instantly fell in love with her. Her name was Susanna, and she exuded this powerful, sexual aura. The girls at school seemed like little kids compared to her. I was so jealous that Mark had this amazing creature staying in his house. He told me that he could smell her when he walked by her room at night. She didn't wear any perfume. It was just the scent of her. She really needed to take a shower. Oh my God, it was pungent. I need a beer. I hope that Allison never stumbles across this. Maybe I shouldn't be typing down my porno fantasies about our live-in nurse on the computer that both me and my wife use. Maybe I shouldn't do that. That is a fantastic name. The other day, a friend of mine, I'll call him John, phoned and asked me if I would like to get together for a cup of coffee. He told me he was having some problems with his wife and needed some help. I've been a licensed therapist and family counselor for 25 years, and I could tell just by the tone of John's voice that he was in trouble. We met at a restaurant later that day. John walked up to the table and sat down with a big sigh. His expression had the shocked, dazed, blank, numb look I had seen on the faces of victims after a terrorist bombing. "Susan is leaving me," he said very matter-of-factly and stared at the menu without blinking. "That's too bad," I replied. "How did this come about?" "She says that I don't know how to love her," he said as he chewed on a fingernail. "She says she doesn't love me anymore." I asked him how he responded to this. "I didn't know what to say," said John as he rubbed his forehead. "I just didn't know what to say, so I just stood there. That made her even madder. She packed a suitcase and left me." John's reaction is typical of a lot of men. He was raised by a stern, stoic father who said things like, "Only sissies cry," and "Be a man," and "Keep a stiff upper lip," and "Don't play with dolls, you look like a girl." John spent his entire childhood suppressing his emotions and feeling shame whenever he felt pleasure or love. Even masturbation was discouraged as a sinful, selfish act. John couldn't even love himself. John didn't want to go to the war in Vietnam, but his father shamed him into enlisting. When John came home from the war, his psyche was scarred and withered by that experience, but even then, he was shamed into suppressing his anger and fear. Shame is the legacy of our Puritan ancestors. Shame is the heritage of our fathers. Shame is the seed we will pass on to our sons if we do not break the cycle. The shame boy is the little voice inside our heads that says, "Don't show emotion. Don't give your love freely. Don't look weak." In John's life, the shame boy had taken over his personality so completely that he appeared to be a callous, uncaring, cold man. In reality, John was a warm, loving, nurturing person. What I needed to show him was how to turn the shame boy into the lover boy. This is great wording. The shame boy cannot be killed. The shame boy cannot be smothered. The shame boy must be hugged. By embracing the shame boy, it loses all power. It struggles at first like a child throwing a tantrum, but after a while it realizes it's helpless to resist, and it is filled with love. Is the shame boy a Terminator? He gave John a mantra to repeat over and over. Here's what I told him to say. "I am a good boy. I am a happy boy. I am a lover boy." He was instructed to sit in meditation for 1 hour every day and repeat this saying. Then I told him to stand naked in front of a full-length mirror and look at his body. He was encouraged to say, "I am a beautiful man. I am a lovely man. I am a lover boy." Afterwards, he was told to go for a long walk and say something nice to every living thing he met. A love walk. After 2 weeks, John called me on the phone again. "Let's get together for coffee," he said. "I've got some news." I met John at the same restaurant. When he walked up to the table, he looked like a different man. His eyes were bright, his skin had a healthy tone. He smiled like someone had given him a big, neat prize. "Susan came back," he said with glee. "We're going on a trip to Hawaii, sort of a second honeymoon." I asked him how this came about. "I did everything you told me to do," he replied. At first, it felt kind of silly, but then I really started to get into it. After a while, it was as if I could see the shame boy standing in the corner of the room watching me. He had this real mean look on his face. He made fun of me. Then slowly, as if he couldn't resist, he started to smile. He started to go with me on my love walks. Soon he was right there beside me, skipping and laughing. We said good morning to everybody we met. We had conversations with homeless people. We even spoke kindly to people we didn't really like. I remarked that was quite the breakthrough. "That's the least of it," said John. "After 2 weeks with this, I met up with Susan. At first, she didn't even recognize me. When I told her I loved her, she practically fainted. Then we both cried together. She said it was a miracle. John started crying again, and I cried a little too. And there's more," said John. "I visited all of my old girlfriends and ex-wives. I started warm, caring, beautiful relationships with all of them again." I asked them if they were sexual relationships. Well, at first they were just platonic, said John. Then after a while, they started begging me for it. Man, it's fantastic. I'm actually having 7 simultaneous relationships, and all of them are warm, caring, loving. I told him this was quite a feat. Thank you, said John. I owe you my life. Without you, I never would have hugged the shame boy. When John left the restaurant, I could see his lover boy walking beside him, holding his hand. It made me cry all over again. What a twist! None of this would have happened if he never hugged the shame boy. Oh man, the shame boy cannot be killed. He cannot be reasoned with, and he absolutely will not stop until you are dead. Oh man, I was actually tearing up. My nose is running a little bit. It's amazing how that story was just going in a certain direction, and then it just ended with, I am having sex with 7 different women. Thanks, Doc.
When a man is with a woman, most of the time he is thinking about having sex.
Just, whenever he's around a woman. And we're talking about men in general, not just Michael. We know the answer about Michael.
I have bowel problems.
What does that have to do with anything?
Sometimes I wish I could control another person with the power of my mind.
What does this have to do with anything, John Hurt? I mean, yeah, I wish I was Professor X, sure.
Catherine is a tease.
Granted, when we look at Michael, like, to him, probably like everything is a tease, considering how excited he is all the time. Like, you could do anything and it would tease that guy. Like, we didn't see Catherine eating breakfast, but Michael would probably find that to be a tease. Oh, look at her eating that breakfast, shoving that food in her mouth. I wish I was that food. It'd probably be something like that. Condoms. What about them? A 35-year-old white female came to the clinic to be treated for depression. She was obsessed with collecting used condoms. Oh, no. Okay, it's a different sex book. Like, we saw one sex book in here before, but now we got a different sex book. Preparing for the Yoni or Lingam massage. Take a long, relaxing bath. You and your partner can do this together or separately. Scent the water with a pleasing, essential odor. Unhurriedly, create a quiet, intimate space. Light the space dimly with candles. Burn incense. Play soft music. Spread pillows about. Undress. At a leisurely pace, begin the process of bonding with your partner. Gently caress one another's skin. Kiss. Hug. Gaze into one another's eyes. Continue this until both you and your partner feel emotionally and spiritually connected. So I guess Catherine has brought a whole bunch of sex books with her. It's for her job. Alice Hare is asking, how long am I streaming tonight? As long as it takes to win this game. Mrs. Randolph crossed and uncrossed her legs for me. I know she knew I was watching her. I just know it. Turner must have told her that Allie and I haven't had sex since the accident. So why is she doing this to me? It isn't fair. Women just don't understand how doing something like this can drive a man crazy. A little while ago, I was showing Catherine where we keep all the cleaning stuff. She brushed up against me and her breast touched my arm. It's like getting a shock. God, I just realized Catherine reminds me of Susanna. At first, I didn't believe that she and Mark were having sex, but when he told me how it happened, I knew he wasn't lying. He had been watching TV in the basement. Susanna came down in her bathrobe. She said she was having trouble sleeping. She sat next to him on the couch. He glanced over and saw that her robe was slightly open. She was naked underneath. She knew he was looking at her, but that's what she wanted. She spread her legs a little wider to give him a better view. He started kissing her. Then he went down on her. She did the same for him. I imagined the scene hundreds of times. I put myself in Mark's place, Susanna with her robe open to show her perfect breasts, her long hair on her naked shoulders, the smell of her and the feel of her mouth tongue. They started having sex all the time. Susanna was on the pill, so they didn't have to worry about her getting pregnant. He told me everything that they did. It drove me insane with desire. Catherine and Susanna, very few women have what they've got, that raw sexuality that pulls guys like them to like moths to a flame. Unbuttoning her shirt in front of me, standing in the window, uncrossing and crossing her legs, bushing up against me. What is she thinking? I know, really. She, brushed up against him a little bit. How dare she? Doesn't she know what she is doing to him? His dick is so hard. Incredibly hard. Doesn't she understand that? It's so hard. I mean, I don't know. It does sound like Michael does need to learn how to hug the shame boy. He needs to learn how to hug that shame boy. He has the book. He has the book in his study. He can do it. It's right here. Why doesn't he read this? He needs to jerk it. That's basically what it comes down to. It's what it comes down to. It's, I'm going to say it's not common. It's very uncommon that a game presents a storyline in which the main conflict could be solved by jerking it.
Now,
I'll get right to the point. My husband and I are having problems in the bedroom.
sexual problems.
Yeah. You see, Matt just doesn't know how to please me.
Have you talked about it?
Sure.
Have you been to any kind of therapy for couples?
Yes, we went for 6 months. Nothing worked.
So your husband knows what you want, but he won't give it to you.
Precisely. He thinks I'm too, kinky.
He has a problem with your bedroom fantasies.
Yeah, he's offered to do everything but that one thing, and it's driving me crazy.
And the one thing is?
I can't mention it on the air.
Oh, come on, Sally. It's the 90s.
That's what I tell Matt all the time.
Let me take a wild guess. Does your husband have a problem with oral sex?
Not at all.
So what's the problem, Sally?
He won't wear the rubber Nixon mask.
I'm sorry, Sally. What did you say?
He won't wear the Richard Milhouse Nixon mask. He thinks it's weird.
You want him to wear a Nixon mask when you make love.
Yeah.
And he thinks you're weird.
Yeah. Isn't that silly?
Sally,
Yes.
you need help.
Oh, Dr. Betty, I'm having problems in the bedroom. He just doesn't know how to please me. And yeah, why is Dr. Betty kink-shaming the woman who wants her lover to wear a Nixon mask? It's not a whole lot to ask. What would riding the fence mean in terms of this subject? It's kind of a one or another kind of thing. I don't know how you ride the fence on abortion. Incredible frown in the chat saying, you can get a little bit of an abortion. Just a little bit. No, not all the way. Just a little. I'm glad that pizza is getting representation here. Truly, pizza is the most erotic of foods. Patient has trouble getting things done when horny. Oh, yeah, that's right, chat. That's a choice you made.
Where's Catherine now?
She's upstairs doing her meditation. She does it faithfully for 1 hour every day. While she's doing it, she can't be disturbed.
Oh, is that right?
Michael, what's wrong with you?
Look at this stuff. We got organic vegetables, we got health cereals, look, carrot cake with no, underlined, no artificial ingredients. And this stuff is expensive. If you ask me, it doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Soy milk, for Christ's sake.
I guess this was the 90s when it was a weird thing for, all natural. What? I can't believe soy milk. Ugh.
Do you believe Michael has ever been unfaithful?
All right, we got this question about Allison before, but now we're getting it about Mike. Big Mike. What, you think Mike's ever been unfaithful? What do you think about that? You think about Mike's been unfaithful?
Well, Pat, it sounds like your husband needs a healthy dose of testosterone if he can't manage to have sex with somebody who looks like you.
Oh, he's having sex.
With whom?
With Mom.
Your husband is having sex with your mother?
For the past 2 years.
How long have you known this?
I just found out last week. I went over to Mom's house to help her change her sheets.
You help your mother change her sheets?
Yeah. She has trouble getting around, doing housework. You see, she weighs 600 pounds.
600 pounds?
She's very big boned. And she's pushing 68.
She's 68 years old?
Anyway, I was looking under the bed, and I found a box of letters.
You don't anyway that.
Love letters from George to Mom. Very lewd love letters.
Well, it's pretty simple, Pat. Your husband is a geriatric obesophile.
A whatophile?
He likes porking fat old women.
Well, what can I do to get him back?
You want him back? Are you nuts? This guy is screwing your mother.
But I love him.
Well, you better start feeding your face, because that's the only way you're going to get him back. So go out and get a bag of potato chips, Pat. I'm Dr. Betty.
Some good advice there, Dr. Betty. But I love him. No. Okay, now we're going to find out about how you actually perform the Yoni massage. Ask the receiver to lie on her back, place pillows under her head so as to allow her to look down at her genitals and up at you. Place another pillow covered by a towel beneath her hips. Ask her to spread her legs apart and place more pillows beneath her knees. So many pillows. Sit cross-legged between her parted legs. Initiate deep, relaxed breathing. Deep breathing should continue throughout the massage. As sexual arousal increases, Hold on, maybe let's try this. As sexual arousal increases, the receiver may feel inclined towards quicker, shallower breathing. At such times, gently remind her to breathe deeply and slowly. Begin by massaging the receiver's legs, abdomen, thighs, breasts, and arms. Move slowly and continue until her body becomes relaxed. After the receiver has relaxed, pour a small quantity of massage oil or lubricant onto the mount of her yoni. Just enough so that the oil drips down the outer lips and covers the outside of the yoni. Gently and without haste, massage the mount and the outer lips of the yoni. Gently squeeze each of the outer lips between the thumb and the index finger, sliding your hand up and down its entire length. Repeat with each of the outer lips. Move slowly and breathe. Gaze into the receiver's eyes. Ask her whether the pressure or the speed of the location of your touch should be altered, and act on whatever suggestions she offers. If she likes, encourage her to massage her own breasts as you continue to massage her yoni. Lightly stroke the receiver's clitoris using a circular motion. Gently squeeze the clitoris between your thumb and your index fingers. The receiver will undoubtedly become extremely aroused at this point. Remind her to relax and breathe deeply. This goes on. Slowly insert the middle finger of your right hand into the yoni. Gently explore and massage the inside. Feel up, down, sideways, go nuts. Vary the depth, speed, and pressure of your touch. With your palm turned up, crook the inserted finger back towards your wrist. Your fingertip will contact the spongy area tissue just under the pubic bone behind the clitoris. This area is known among Westerners as the G-spot, or rather, the God spot, and as we all know, you must destroy God the monster, so just wreck that spot with your middle finger. In Tantra, it is the sacred spot. And there's a picture. Ask receiver whether she finds pressure applied to a sacred spot pleasurable or painful. If she experiences pleasure, continue to massage this area using the back and forth, side to side, or the circular motions. Vary the pressure, speed, and the pattern of your movements. Carefully insert the ring finger of your right hand into the yoni. Continue to explore and massage the inside using both your middle and your ring fingers. With your thumb of your right hand, gently stimulate the clitoris, just like I stimulate my brothers. I love them so much. Move slowly. Enjoy giving the massage. If the receiver likes, insert the pinky of your right hand into her anus. Use additional lubrication. Be very gentle. In Tantra, it is said that when your pinky rests inside the woman's anus, use your ring and middle fingers inside her yoni and your thumb on her clitoris. You hold one of the mysteries of the universe in your hand. While your right hand remains thusly engaged, use your left hand to massage the receiver's breast, abdomen, or clitoris. The dual stimulation of right and left hands will provide much pleasure for the receiver. Continue massaging for as long as the receiver likes. If she experiences an orgasm, encourage her to relax her body and to continue breathing deeply. If you continue massaging her after the first orgasm, she might experience more, each gaining in intensity. The orgasms stack, you understand. Like, they stack on top of each other. They get the multiplier. You got, like, the ×2, and then, like, the ×3 multiplier the more they happen. If you continue massaging after the first orgasm... Okay, in Tantra, this is known as riding the wave. When the receiver feels the massage to be complete, very slowly, gently, and with great respect... Respectfully remove your hands from the yoni. If she likes, cuddle or hold her. As you learn to master the yoni massage, your sex life will become greatly enriched. You will learn a tremendous amount about feminine sexuality. That's right. Got through that whole thing. Okay. So, I mean, that taught me a lot. That taught me a lot about the female orgasm. I did not know about the multipliers. About the point multipliers. I did not know about that part. So I learned something. One night, after having incredible sex, Allison started crying. She told me that she was worried that all I wanted her was for sex. I told her that was stupid. You're stupid. You should feel bad and stupid. So she said that she didn't want to sleep with me for a while. At first I was okay with the whole thing, but after a month I wondered what in the hell was going on. I was incredibly frustrated and horny. We started arguing a lot. Then all of a sudden we were on the verge of splitting up because my dick was so hard. So hard. Allison had a roommate named Tracy, a friend of hers from high school. She was a hippie chick with tattoos and a pierced belly button. She was very pretty and had an amazing body. And she was always flirting with me. Like, sometimes she would say hi, or sometimes she would, like, glance over at me or, like, walk by me. Totally flirting. One night, Tracy and I got really drunk and ended up in bed. The sex was great and I wanted to do it again. Tracy, Twitch Dagger asking, is this really what it's like to be straight? No. No, it's not. For some people it is, but I'm not going to say no to that one. Tracy felt guilty, though. She thought she had betrayed her friend. The next day, Allison came over. She said that Tracy had told her what had happened. The weird thing was, Allison didn't seem mad. In fact, she was apologetic. She told me that everything was her fault, and she wanted to start sleeping together again. She started crying. We made love that afternoon. I can tell. That seems very romantic. A couple of weeks later, I found out something really bizarre. Tracy told me that Allison had encouraged her to have sex with me. She had told Tracy that she didn't care about me anymore. It was only after she found out that we had sex that she wanted me back. Turner was no help. He thinks... Oh, are we just going to a different subject now? Turner was no help. He thinks I should just go along with what Catherine says. I think that Mrs. Randolph is insecure, and she feels like she needs to boss me around all the time to show me that she is in control of the situation. I didn't tell Turner what I really felt. He's very defensive of her. Like, she's his kid. Or his girlfriend. The whole situation is starting to sort of piss me off, but I promised myself I'd do anything just as long as it helped Allie. But is it helping her? She just seems to be sinking deeper and deeper into her fantasy world, and Mrs. Randolph is the one who's pushing her. Turner told me that Mrs. Randolph is divorced. I'm not surprised. Mrs. Greenstreet knew I was looking at that nymphette's ass in Dr. Turner's office. That was really embarrassing. That girl exuded sex, though, and she wanted me to look at her. I wonder what kind of therapy old Doc Turner's giving her. I bet he doesn't mind seeing her 3 times a week. I stopped by the office and said hi to everyone. Leon wasn't there, but everybody else was happy to see me. Duncan asked me if I wanted to play tennis sometime. I said only if I can hold the racket with my dick, because, man, it's hard. I told him that would be great. Then I went to the hippy-dippy food co-op and bought about $50 worth of health food crap. On the way home, I stopped at the driving range and blasted some balls to the fence. With my dick. Man, that felt good. I dread going to bed. Allison sleeps so rigidly, like a corpse. I want to run away from the house, run away from them. I'm going to go out to the porch and drink a couple of beers. It's starting to rain. Oh, we got more? I just woke up from the scarecrow dream. Wait, what dream? I can't sleep. 15 minutes passed while I just sat here staring into space. I can't stop thinking about Mark. Or maybe it's Susanna I'm dwelling on. It was Susanna's birthday party, and everyone had forgotten to get ice cream for the cake. Mark volunteered to run to the store. He got hit by a drunk driver as he drove home. He was in a coma. The doctor didn't know if he would ever come out of it. Susanna and I were alone in the hospital room with him. I had my arm around her, holding her close. My face was touching hers. We were both overwhelmed by what had happened. We were scared and shocked and anguished. I could feel her hot tears rolling down my cheeks. I licked my lips and tasted her tears. And then the strangest thing happened. Something about the feel and taste of her tears set this powerful, electric sensation rushing through my body. I held Susanna closer to me. She must have felt it too, because she opened her eyes wide and stared at me. Oh, these emotions. Sorrow and lust, loss and pain. All of them mingled together and pulled us together like a spell. We started kissing passionately, touching each other's bodies, surprised and thrilled by our unexpected desire. Susanna led me to the spare bed in the room, and we made love while my best friend lay dying. And then later that night, I had the scarecrow dream for the first time, the same dream I had tonight. In the dream, I'm walking through the house in the daytime. Nobody is home. Everything is so quiet and still. I look outside toward the pasture. I see a scarecrow hanging limp on its wooden cross. I walk outside, across the field. The closer I get to the scarecrow, the more scared I get. The scarecrow looks like a person, a man. I can't see his face. I stop an arm's length away. An old straw hat covers the man's features. I stare with horror at his hands, nailed to the old board. The blood is dried and caked on. Suddenly, the man twitches. TV. I stumble backwards and fall to the ground. The scarecrow turns his head slowly and looks towards the sky. His eyes are sunken. His skin is cracked from exposure. But I can still recognize who it is. It's my face. It is me. It's some heavy stuff there. All right, so Mike has some deep issues. Like, his horniness goes places. It's not just he's horny. He is super Saiyan horny is what he is. He has horniness issues that is messing him up. And I don't know what he's going to do about that.
See with the patient?
No. But no, you can't go in there.
Look, Mrs. Greenstreet, I just need 5 minutes of his time. It's important.
What is it, Michael?
I'm sorry to barge in on you like this, Dr. Turner, but Mrs. Randolph is really going too far.
I thought she was doing rather well.
She had me put a television in Jody's room, and now she's making me go to the animal shelter to get a dog.
A dog?
Yes, for Jody. Can you believe it?
Michael, Mrs. Randolph, Catherine does know what she's doing.
I don't think so.
Really? Come on in.
Hello, Michael.
Slap me, silly. You're a genuine psychic.
Don't insult me, John Hurt.
She's beautiful. Jody will love her. Does she have a name?
Well, if she does, I don't know it.
Oh, Jody can name her. How cute. Don't you love her?
Yeah, she's cute.
Let's show her to Jody.
Hey, no dogs on the bed in this house. Come on, you little mutt. Whoa. What's that? I rescued you from the pound, remember? You'll regret that.
Weird that the dog would be responding poorly to that.
Allison!
Will you please be quiet? We're trying to develop some concentration.
Is Allison in there with you? You know, I was looking for you earlier, but I guess you were in Catherine's room.
She's teaching me meditation.
What was it like?
It's wonderful.
No, I mean, what did you do?
We meditated.
Yeah, but what's meditation all about?
I didn't know you had such an interest in meditation, Mr. Overton.
I'm curious about a lot of things.
Perhaps you should try a session with me.
That Catherine really is impressive. Though I can't help but be a little curious about her meditation sessions with Alison. Wonder what they're actually doing in there.
Yes, let's think about that. What are they doing in there?
It is better never to deceive anyone.
All we know is that Catherine didn't appear to be wearing anything when she opened that door. That's all we know about what was happening in there.
I mean, first the television, and then the goddamn dog. A dog. This is too much. Damn it. I need another beer.
Gonna get a beer. So horny and drunk. What was going on with Alison and Catherine and their meditation? It looked like Catherine was naked. Was Alison naked too? I think that any normal guy would feel pretty weird if he knew that his wife was getting naked with some other woman. I have to admit, though, for a second, it totally turned me on. I would have given anything to see what they were doing. When I asked Alison about it, she seemed so coy. Why wouldn't she tell me what they were doing? And Catherine, she looked so smug, like the cat who's eaten the canary. At night, I wanted to hold her in my arms so badly that my stomach aches. I want to smell her skin and hold her breasts and press against her body. Who am I writing about here? Catherine or Alison? I haven't touched anyone for so long. Sometimes my skin feels brittle, like the shell of an egg. I can't take this denial much longer. I fantasize about her all the time. What's wrong with me? Catherine was naked. I know she was naked. Was Alison naked in there too? Was she? Alison had a friend from college who was bisexual. One summer, after we were married, this woman came and stayed with us for a couple of weeks. She was really attractive and funny, and she was practically a nudist. She would lounge around all day, just in a towel or a tiny bikini. Alison started doing the same thing. Once I walked in on them lying on our bed. They were totally naked and laughing like little girls. They looked so beautiful together. I wanted to join them. Just thinking about the two of them like that made me incredibly aroused. One night, the three of us got drunk. Alison's friend playfully suggested we have a threesome. Alison actually suggested that it might be kind of fun. I was all for it. But then Alison chickened out. She said she couldn't do it with her because she was her friend. Could she do it with a stranger? Why do I keep going over this in my mind? I have to stop thinking about it. I have to get out of here. I called Leon and told him I was coming back to work. I can't sleep again. A crow woke me up. It was fighting with a blue jay outside our window. On my 10th birthday, Dad bought me a .22 rifle. I was incredibly excited and aroused, and I immediately went into the woods looking for a deer or a rabbit. I told Dad I would bring back dinner. After a couple hours, I hadn't seen anything. I was humiliated and angry and horny. A huge black crow flew up and landed in the branches above me, looked at me strangely, cocked its head to the side, then started to caw. The harsh bird was annoying. The crow kept it up. After a while, it seemed like the bird was mocking me. "Get out of here," I screamed. It crowed louder. Suddenly a strange fury overcame me. I felt my spine tingle. I grabbed the rifle and I fired a shot at the animal. The crow let out a screech and fell to the ground at my feet, and it dropped money. It was weird, like it dropped like a gem. I don't understand that. I was astonished. I never even fired a gun before. My first shot took that bastard down. Dad would be so proud. Then I realized with horror the crow was still alive. Still alive, but terribly wounded, suffering. I had shot him in the wing. He would never fly again. He was helpless. He hauled himself up and tried to flap his broken wing. He stared at me, his mouth opened, and screamed. His black eyes were more piercing than anything I had ever seen. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't leave him there to suffer. To be attacked and be eaten by some other animal? So I shot him again. This blew off part of his leg. He shrieked louder. A strange resentment for this creature started to overcome me. How dare it accuse me? How dare it make me feel guilty? I hadn't meant to hurt it. I was filled with a searing, hateful horniness. I started beating him with the butt of the rifle. I beat him to a pulp in a wild, vicious tantrum. The .22 cracked and broke. I left him there, the gun and the crow. And I ran crying home. When I told Dad what had happened, he didn't say a word. He just shook his head. Dad, I couldn't find anything to shoot, so a crow flew by me, and it made me mad. So I shot it a bunch of times and then beat it with the rifle so hard that the rifle broke. That's, might be a flag. That might be a red flag right there. All right, let's learn about the Lingam massage. Ask the receiver to lie on his back. Place pillows under his head so as to allow him to look down at his genitals and up at you. Place another pillow covered by a towel beneath his hips. Ask him to spread his legs out and place more pillows beneath his knees. Sit cross-legged between his parted legs. Initiate deep, relaxed breathing. Deep breathing should continue throughout the massage. As sexual arousal increases, the receiver may feel inclined towards quicker, shallower breathing. At such times, gently remind him to breathe deeply and slowly. Begin by massaging the receiver's legs, abdomen, thighs, chest, and arms. Move slowly and continue until his body becomes too relaxed. After the receiver has relaxed, pour a small quantity of massage oil or lubricant on the shaft of the lingam and the testicles. Very gently, begin massaging the testicles to take care not to inflict pain. Or maybe some guys like that pain, so maybe just grab them real hard. Gently massage the scrotum and then the pubic bone. Massage the perineum. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe as you're massaging the testicles. Begin massaging the shaft of the lingam. Vary the speed and pressure of your movements. Gently squeeze the base of the lingam with your right hand, then pull up and off the shaft. Alternate with your left hand. Repeat this motion, alternating between your right and left hands several times. Next, reverse the motion by squeezing the head of the lingam and then sliding down and off the shaft. Again, alternate with right and left hands. Massage the head of the lingam using a motion similar to that of juicing an orange. You know how you juice an orange. You juice oranges all the time. Do the same with the dick. The lingam may alternate between erection and flaccidity during the massage. In Tantra, these oscillations between hardness and softness, two ends of the pleasure spectrum, are considered highly desirable. Find the pea-sized indentation located midway between the testicles and the anus. In Tantra, this area is known as the male sacred spot. In Taoism, it is the $1 million point, because everyone's got a price. Gently apply pressure to this area. Some men may initially find this sensation painful. As the area is massaged and softened, however, for most men, the sensation becomes pleasurable. Massaging this area also helps men achieve the ejaculatory control. An alternate manner of accessing the male sacred spot is via the anus. Very gently, and using lubrication, insert the middle finger of your left hand approximately 1 inch into the anus. With your palm turned up, crook your finger back towards your wrist. Your fingertip will contact the prostate gland. Relax and take your time. Enjoy giving the massage. If, during the lingam massage, it appears that the receiver is gonna ejaculate, stop massaging and allow the lingam to soften a little before resuming contact. Repeat this process of allowing the receiver to approach ejaculation and backing off at least 6 times. Encourage him to relax his body and continue breathing deeply. After the receiver has approached and receded from ejaculation at least 6 times, he may wish to orgasm. Allow him to do so. The sensations will be extremely intense and pleasurable. Alternately, he may wish to emit orgasm, preferring instead to channel orgastic energy inward. This choice rests exclusively with the receiver. In either case, remind him to continue breathing deeply. When the receiver feels the massage to be complete, gently remove your hands from his lingam. If he likes, cuddle or hold him. As you learn to master the lingam massage, your sex life will become greatly enriched and you will learn a tremendous amount about masculine sexuality. Okay, what's that part about channeling the orgastic energy inward? I didn't know we could do that. Does that like, let us achieve ultra instinct or something. And also, the part about 6 times, it's a lot. That's a lot of times. Just back off on that 6 times.
Oh, Michael, I need you to pick up some things for Jodi's party.
What party?
Next week. It's her birthday. Catherine suggested that we have a party. Can you believe it? She's gonna be 6 years old. I need pin the tail on the donkey and invitations.
You're inviting other people?
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be a party without guests now, would it?
I guess not.
Don't forget the game. We figured out a way for Jodi to play, but that's gonna be a surprise.
I'm sure it'll surprise everyone.
This party thing is going too far. Well, when can you talk about it? Yes, but I want to speak to you when Allison's not around. During your meditation. Fine. Tonight.
That's the naked time. The meditation is the naked time.
Be there.
Sorry. Sadler Quasit in the chat says the deer maintains eye contact until you orgasm. Oh, we're looking at the art of sex magic. Let's see about this. Sex magic is the conscious utilization of orgasmic energy in the service of active reality creation. It derives from the belief that orgasm constitutes the most powerful experiences, that orgasmic energy is harnessable, and that reality is determined by the individual. Right, I saw Infinity War. Thanos got the orgasm gem, and that allowed him to change the nature of reality. You begin by lying on your back with arms and legs comfortably outstretched. Breathe deeply and relax your body, starting with your feet and moving towards your head. Visualize each section of the body becoming relaxed. I'm sorry, I keep thinking about the deer thing. The deer maintains eye contact. Pay particular attention to your stomach and jaw. No, relax them completely. Take your time and continue. Oh, the pie chart's still there. I'm sorry. Let me get rid of that. Identify the reality you wish to create. Say, no more mutants. Define it specifically as possible and in present sense, as if it already exists. I earn $100,000 per year, for example. Write the reality down on a piece of paper, or speak it loud as a mantra or affirmation. Focus intently on the created reality. See, hear, taste, smell, and feel it. Visualize yourself within it. For example, what would you feel like as a person who earns $100,000 a year? What sorts of smells and tastes surround you as a person? What do you look like? What do you sound like? Breathe into the created reality. Once you have vividly experienced the created reality, turn your attention away from it and once again focus on relaxing your body. Initiate sexual activity. This activity may take the form of masturbation or lovemaking with a supportive partner. Remember to breathe deeply and to keep your body relaxed. Bring yourself nearly to orgasm and then cease sexual activity. Repeat this process of approaching orgasm and then backing off at least 6 times. While approaching orgasm for the 7th time, mentally recall the image of your created reality. Okay. I brought up Thanos before, now I'm just imagining this scene happening in Infinity War. This is how he has to create the reality that he wants. It's unpleasant to watch, but this is how it has to go. Once again, focus intense attention upon it and experience yourself within it. While holding your focus thusly, allow yourself to orgasm, to deliberately channel the orgasm into the created reality. Feel the created reality being born into existence. Keep your body relaxed and breathe. The created reality now exists. It will manifest either immediately or at some future point. In either its complete form or as an opportunity or insight. The power of sex magic is extraordinary. As you learn to master it, it will quite literally enable you to achieve and acquire all you desire. Okay, chat, just remember, if you want to create a new universe that you control and you can be whatever you want in that universe, you have to bring yourself to orgasm almost, you have to do it 6 times, but then draw back, and then on the 7th time, you can create your universe. It's harder than it sounds. It's harder than it sounds. He tells me to come to him. I feel my loins aching to surround his flesh. I crawl over to him and get on top, and he slips inside me. He's so hot and hard that I gasp. As we move in rhythm, we pluck berries from the ground and eat them. I woke up very hungry. Yeah, I know. My loins are aching as we speak.
I'm so horny.
Time for meditation.
Allison thinks you're teaching me how to meditate.
Might not be such a bad idea.
I have hardly ever fantasized about having sex with animals.
That's a hell of a segue, John Hurt. Quaker in the chat saying we're only halfway through the game. Great, wonderful. Then let's power on to 9 in the morning, I guess. I think I set Catherine straight today. I think she understands where I'm coming from. I think she respects me. We had a good talk. She's finally letting me into her world. She told me her plan of action. It made me feel a lot better. I just wish she would stop tempting me. Maybe she doesn't even know she's doing it. But when she sat on the bed in that long silk shirt, I could see perfectly well that she wasn't wearing any underwear. Christ. I stopped by Jody's room before going to bed. I glanced in and something caught my eye. A wheelchair! What the hell is a wheelchair doing in Jody's room? It looked alive, poised, ready to move like a spider about to pounce on its prey. The wheels seemed to move. I fumbled for the lights. When the room was brightly lit, the wheelchair didn't seem foreboding. I laughed nervously and turned on the lights. Off the lights. Then I heard a creaking sound. I flipped on the lights again. The chair hadn't moved. I turned off the lights again and started to walk away and thought I heard the floorboards creaking under the chair. Allison is expecting me to push it around in the yard tomorrow. Push around our imaginary invalid. It's such a crazy thought. I can't stop laughing. I'm sitting down here in my office laughing like a fool. There's a picture of us in a frame and a small table by the couch. I took it into the bathroom and locked the door. I didn't want Miss Randolph butting in on my privacy. In the picture, Allison and I are holding hands and Jody is between us, forcing a kid smile, her eyes squinting. It's really a nice picture. My father had taken it shortly before his death. He had told Jody to smile harder. Both Allison and I had a peaceful look in our eyes. We were gazing beyond the camera, beyond my father, beyond the moment. I studied the picture and wondered if there was any way of seeing what was to come. Is our future ever imprinted on us somewhere? I dreamed of a far more powerful camera, one that could capture spirits hovering around us. We were standing on the lawn of the picture, with the forest in the background. What if death itself were silhouetted in the shadows of the trees? What if the camera had caught it hovering behind us, looking at us with lust? I sat there, grinding my teeth, peering at the photo. Finally, I saw it. The sign was subtle, devious. It was in the trees. They loomed behind us, and their shadows cast crooked shapes over our unsuspecting heads. The shadows marked us, scheduled us for disaster. If only I had noticed. If only I had the vision back then that I have now. I shouldn't go to Catherine's room tomorrow. I know I shouldn't go. The other day I was walking out by the old barn. I saw Catherine standing by the pond. She was wearing a long skirt, and her hair was loose about her shoulders. The sun was just about to set and cast that strange, haunting light that only comes at dusk. She had a sort of sad, wistful expression on her face. It was a look I'd never seen before. I wanted to go up to her and ask her what she was thinking about. Suddenly, I realized that she had a life outside of mine and Allison's. I wanted to touch her hair and her breasts, lay down on top of her and hold her there, make her look into my eyes with something other than disdain. I wanted to push her into the earth until it covered both of us. Just, push her down until she's buried. Okay. I guess I answered that question incorrectly. We're an animal lover.
Dr. Betty.
Hello?
Dr. Betty.
Karen, are you on the line?
I'm here, Dr. Betty. I need your advice.
Karen, you're going to have to speak up.
I can't. He might be listening.
Who?
Henry, my husband. He's always spying on me. He thinks I'm having an affair with my boss. Every night he goes through my hamper to see if I've been cheating on him.
Are you cheating on him with your boss?
Well, no. But I am doing something secret.
What are you doing, Karen?
I have a secret life.
What kind of secret life?
It started a couple of years ago. A girlfriend of mine got me into it. It was so thrilling. I couldn't stop myself. I knew what I was doing was wrong and that it might hurt him, but...
Are you doing drugs, Karen?
Oh, no. Nothing like that.
Gambling?
No. I'd never do that. I'm a prostitute.
Oh my God!
Henry?
Oh my God!
Is there somebody else on the line?
Henry, are you on the phone?
Oh my God!
Henry, where are you?
I'm in the basement. Oh my God!
Henry, I can't believe you're listening in on my phone calls.
I can't believe I'm listening to your phone calls. I can't believe I'm married to a hooker. Oh my God!
Dr. Betty, I think I'd better call back later. Henry, you sneaky little rat!
Oh my God. Yeah, that's probably the best voice acted one yet. I ought to be considering the case right now, but tonight, just tonight, I'm going to indulge in Colette. I'm going to pretend I'm in Colette's apartment, that it's so dark that I don't see her leaning naked against the headboard. I'm going to stand at the foot of Colette's bed, feel my knees bend lightly against the mattress. Slowly I'll begin to undress. First the buttons on my blouse. When I'm halfway down the front, I'll hear Colette say, "Slower! Start again!" I'll let out a mock sigh of annoyance, rebutton my blouse, and start again slower. I'll hear the flashlight click on, and just behind the light I can make her out. I let the blouse fall. The beam of light lingers on my breasts, then travels down to the waist of my jeans. "More!" she says. I wriggle out of my jeans and stand there as the light travels over my nakedness. "Come here!" she commands. "No," I say. She points the light at my eyes, punishing me. "I said come here." I smile. "No." I hear the flashlight click off. It's so dark I can hear absolutely nothing. I can hear her breathing, waiting, then a thick, quick rustle of sheets, and suddenly her arms are wrapped around my waist, pulling me onto the bed, and we begin to devour each other. Big Vor action. Big Vor. I'm not Venom. I assume I am not Venom. I probably need drugs.
I would like to be given a sponge bath.
Hell yes. I actually do have a kukri knife next to my bed. It looks scary.
You're early. On my back.
All right, the meditation we were reading about, this is what that was. Hopefully we'll see her find the sacred area. Remember that? Yes, don't forget, he has to get near 6 times, then pull back.
Should have never done this. Should have never come in here.
This is completely out of hand. Well, sleeping with the patient's spouse? What the hell does she think she's doing? The hell is going on here?
We can kind of see that this was coming. Hey, Mike. Big Mike. How you doing?
Oh, man. I can't believe this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But I know one thing. I will never do that again.
I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that. Let's see. A key is a dick. Keyholes are wombs. Is the door open? Should we enter the door? Look at the shapes and textures. Look from the neck of the instrument to the... look at the art. What do you see? Do you see dicks? Probably. Let's read Mike's journal on what he thinks is what happened. Oh, the computer is not accessible. The chat suggesting that maybe Mike was too tired from all the sex to type anything. It could be.
I had to do it. I really had no choice. He was going to fire me, I could tell. He was on the verge of getting rid of me. I had to take control of him. But I have to confess something. Something I wasn't quite prepared for. It felt so good. It felt so good. I want to do it again. Soon.
Yeah, I can't blame her for enjoying sex with that god of masculinity, Michael. You look at him, you say, man, that must be, and he must be incredible in bed. He must be a sex machine. He's not at all this kind of dorky guy who doesn't seem like he can do anything right. There's no significance, dumbass. It's just a hat.
Meditation can be physically exhausting.
Oh boy, can it.
Oh, I find it to be quite the opposite.
Well, maybe Michael's different. He really worked hard at it.
So hard.
It's wonderful.
No, thank you. No, I don't want to meditate, thank you.
It doesn't count now, Michael.
You can just say, I think, it's not working out very well, and I think it's time for you to go. Simple as that.
It's not going to be as simple as that.
Walk in and do it.
That's not how it's going to go, Mike. Do the hard nipples mean that she's like all erotic now?
I tell you as soon as you get in to go up to your second meditation session. She said she expected you to be very eager.
Oh, she did she?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not interested in meditation.
Catherine?
I don't think you're working out. I think it'd be best if you just leave.
Mike, you said it wouldn't happen again. I think it's happening again. It's happening again right now. Good job, Mike.
Allison, just what do you do in your meditation?
The same thing as you, Michael.
I've been thinking. You were probably right from the beginning. We don't need a full-time nurse here. I don't have to work. We don't need money. I could quit work. I could be home all the time again. We could get somebody on a part-time basis.
No offense, Michael. But Catherine does things that you could never do.
She finds the sacred spot.
I'd be willing to try it with him again.
See, Michael? She's willing to try harder for you.
I heard her.
Doesn't seem like she has to try very hard.
But I'm shocked.
Let's all have sex with Catherine. I mean, maybe that's just the best outcome for everyone involved if both Mike and Allison are nailing Catherine. Like, maybe that's just the best way to save this marriage.
Okay, I know. I said it before, but I'll never let that happen again. I mean it. Never again.
Sure.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Now I gotta go get a fucking pizza.
Yeah, you gotta go get that pizza. And I mean, she really didn't have to do much to get you to break that promise, Mike. She could just do it again, and you're just gonna happen again.
We have Alan on the air. Hello, Alan.
Hi, Dr. Betty. Thanks for taking my call.
What's going on, Alan?
Well, I've been in a relationship with somebody at work.
Really?
things are kind of getting out of control.
I can't imagine why.
Well, I really like her. She's funny and smart, and we really click. You know, the sex is like so beautiful. I think I'm in love. No, I know I'm in love. She's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Does your office have rules about employees dating each other?
No,
Then what's the problem?
she's married.
Uh-huh.
I'm married too.
So your problem here is that you're committing adultery.
Well, I wouldn't put it like that.
Well, I sure would, Alan. What else would you call it?
My wife doesn't want me anymore. She's frigid, you know? Sure, she'll lie there like a corpse and say, "Go ahead, Alan. I don't mind." But that's not what I want. I'm not a necrophiliac. I'm a warm, caring person who needs to be nurtured and loved. I want romance and passion. Well, let me be blunt, Dr. Betty. My wife makes me physically ill. I can't stand the look of her, or the way she smells, her breath, the way she clips her toenails, the way she sneezes. God, everything about her. I hate her guts.
Then why don't you get divorced? It's pretty simple.
I can't divorce her.
Why?
I'm a strict Roman Catholic.
You can't divorce your wife, but you can cheat on her? Commit adultery with another woman? Alan, I think you're a hypocrite.
Yeah. Well, probably. So what do you think I should do?
Will you really listen to me if I tell you?
Yes, I respect your opinion.
If you're going to live by a set of rules, you can't just pick and choose the ones that suit you. You are married. According to your religious beliefs, you are committing a heinous sin. That's the way it is. You're stuck, Alan. You're going to have to stop seeing this other woman.
That's just what Father Francis said.
Well, he's right. So what are you going to do, Alan?
Well, I think I'm going to get another opinion.
Why did you even call? You knew what I was going to say.
Yeah, I know.
You're a worm, Alan.
I know.
A worm.
Well, I'd rather be a happy worm, though, than a miserable worm.
Goodbye, Alan.
Peeing in public pools is...
I like the picture here, the implication that that's what she's doing right now. Am I feeling sleepy? Oh, yeah.
The size of a man's penis.
That's a great image to give to this question. Okay.
Did you like it?
Did you enjoy the sex?
It was Catherine.
What?
Catherine
She's been encouraging me.
Catherine possessed my body.
Things. Catherine?
I'm sorry to bother you, but Jody's been crying. I guess you didn't hear her.
I heard there was some sex going on in here.
She's been asking for her daddy.
Michael?
There you go, getting some of that mic butt. You've been demanding it, I'm sure.
Daddy?
Oh, this is a bad idea.
Daddy, I'm scared.
Don't do that.
Do this.
Hi, my surrogate daughter, I guess now. It's kind of weird.
How could you do that last night?
Looks divine.
It was cruel and sick. What kind of a person are you?
The kind that got your wife back, isn't that what you wanted?
When are you leaving?
Do you really want me to leave, Michael?
It's not gonna work anymore. As you said, I have my wife back.
But it isn't the same with her, is it?
I mean, she pretended to be your daughter, Mike. This really shouldn't work. It's working, isn't it? Mike, it's working, isn't it? Mike, this is the third time, Mike. Oh, look in that window. Yelling in frustration. Another big part of the conflict that's happening in this is that Mike just cannot resist sex. Like, if he was able to just resist sex just a little bit, a lot of this wouldn't be happening.
I wish that dog would stop barking.
All right, now Michael, Allison, and Catherine all hate the dog. Poor dog.
I just got a fax. This is kind of interesting. It reads, Alan, the reason I'm frigid is because you're so lousy in bed. The last time we were having sex, I almost projectile vomited all over the sheets. That's how much you make me sick. I'm glad that I listened to the radio today because now I know what kind of a disgusting creep you really are. By the time you get home, I'll be gone, and you'll never see me or the money in that not-so-secret savings account ever again. Well, Alan, there's your second opinion.
Kitty Cat says...
What's wrong? Allison, what's wrong?
Michael, you didn't do it, did you?
Do what?
Because if you did such a thing...
What did I do? What is she talking about?
Jody's dog.
What about the dog?
She's dead.
Michael, she was poisoned. Rat poison.
Come on, honey. Let's go back inside, okay? Please do something with the poor thing before it starts to smell.
Well, I guess we can't be surprised. All three of them hated the dog.
You killed the dog.
Is that what you're doing, planting rat poison in my closet? Is that what you have behind your back?
No. You went down in the basement and you got the poison yourself.
Really?
And this proves it.
It does?
You see, they're covered in red clay from the basement floor. Wait till Allison sees this.
Sees what?
This is proof you killed the dog.
Don't be ridiculous.
What are you doing?
She's doing what works every time, Mike.
I didn't kill that dog. You did! You did!
Well, what happened there?
And Allison's gonna know the truth. I want you out of here!
Okay, Dr. Betty. I need your advice, Dr. Betty.
Oh, please, Mary. Get a grip. You were shacked up with a drunk, and now he's left you for a younger woman.
But...
That's the reality of it. There's not much point in trying to analyze what happened. You've got to play the cards that were dealt to you. You have to take action to move ahead.
But I loved him so much.
But why? Why would you love a bum? This guy was a bum. Is a bum. He used you, and now he's using someone else, and you've gotten so used to being used and abused that you are wallowing in your misery like a big old hog in the mud. You don't have to feel like this.
But I do feel like this.
But you don't have to. That's what makes humans different from animals, Mary. Humans have the ability to override their feelings. Override your feeling, Mary. Please. Now go out and get yourself a damn wife.
But I love him, Dr. Betty. I can't do it.
You think I don't know why you want Allison to remain half catatonic?
Go to hell.
You were driving the car. You were going too fast.
I wasn't.
Oh, the police report says you were. You couldn't negotiate the turn, but you should have. You'd driven that road so many times before.
It was raining.
And Jody didn't have on her seatbelt because you didn't insist. But you wore one. You saved yourself by wearing it.
It's not true.
Of course it's true.
Get away from me. Get out of my house.
Why were you driving so fast?
I wasn't!
She'd still be alive. Just a little seatbelt and her head wouldn't have smashed against that windshield.
Stop it, please stop it!
It's your fault.
No!
Another successful therapy session.
Berating Michael like that was, I think, even a greater infraction of her professional code of integrity than sleeping with her patient's husband. On the other hand, she may not have been right to do it. But she may have been right. Maybe Michael does want to keep Allison in her state of denial. What are your thoughts on this?
Don't both sides that, John Hurt.
Certainly no simple matter.
I hate everyone in my family.
Wow, how did we get to this, John Hurt?
Catherine has a vindictive streak.
Yeah, she does.
Catherine is a dangerous person.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Betty, give us some advice. We need advice about our love life, Dr. Betty. Can you help us?
I mean, it's every guy's fantasy to have sex with two women at once. You ask any guy, he'll tell you the same thing. Go ahead, ask. Anyway, I tried to get Lisa, my wife, to do it with me and another woman for years. Years, Dr. Betty. And she'd say, "No, Tony, that's gross. I don't want to." And finally, I got down on my knees and I begged her. She said, "Okay, Tony, I'll do it because I love you so much." So we got in touch with a woman through a personal ad. And we met at the Pancake Hut. Her name was Amanda. Oh, man, she was hot. Beautiful face, killer body. Jeez, I was getting riled up just thinking about it. Anyway, to make a long story short, the three of us went back to our house and made a Tony sandwich. You know the craziest thing? My wife was totally into it. I mean, she was all over the bed like some kind of porn star or something. I mean, she and Amanda did this one thing with maple syrup and a ping pong ball that was...
So, what's the problem, Tony?
Well... See, at first, it was great. You know, I felt like a sheik in a harem. Man, it was amazing. Amanda started bringing over all of this cool stuff, sex toys, things like that. I was buying D batteries every time I passed through the checkout line at the grocery store.
We get the picture, Tony.
I'm sorry. Well, they told me one night that they didn't want me involved, you know?
Uh-huh.
And they just wanted me to watch. And, I mean, that was okay, too. I mean, geez, they're gorgeous. You know, it's like every guy's fantasy to watch two beautiful women going at it like that. What with the oil and the attachments and...
So, Tony, why don't you get to the point?
Sorry. Well, you see, now they don't even want me in the same room. You know, I can't even watch. I'm out of the picture.
Are you and your wife still intimate?
Jeez. Why? You mean, what, just the two of us?
Yes.
No, she only wants to be with Amanda. And I feel, well, I'm pretty left out. Now she doesn't even want me coming around their apartment anymore.
Their apartment? Your wife is living with this Amanda now?
Yeah, but I think it's just a phase.
How long have you been separated?
3 years now.
I don't think it's a phase, Tony.
So what do I do?
Go out and get a life.
Is that going to be your advice for everything, Dr. Betty?
If a rocket ship landed in my backyard, I would...
Take me away, aliens.
You're crazy. You're out of your mind. You're evil. You should be locked up.
You're overstressed, Mr. Overton. Perhaps you could use some counseling.
She's right, Michael. You're a mess.
She's not right. She's vicious and cruel, and you gotta stop listening to her.
Maybe you should go see Dr. Turner.
That's a very good idea.
Well, that is a good idea. I think I will go see Dr. Turner. That's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. Don't you understand what I've been going through? I want Mrs. Randolph out of my house, and if he won't help me, I'll do it myself.
Sure he would help if only you would wait for him.
No. He's just gonna try to talk me into keeping her. They're in on this together. They're all the same. They're just a bunch of leeches who pretend to help people. Psychoanalysis, the new religion. They just prey on people's fears and misfortune. It's all bullshit. Now get those assholes on the phone. She's a crazy woman. She hasn't done a damn thing for my wife except turn her against me. And I want you to call my house and tell her to get out and hop on that next plane to Portland. And that's final.
How could this have happened?
John Hurt, you keep saying every time, how could this have happened? No one could have seen this coming.
I have kept a spider in a jar until it withered up and died.
But it was pretty apparent from the beginning that this was not going to be a good personality match in this house. You keep acting surprised about how it escalates every time.
I have never been afraid of something dead coming back to life and coming to get me.
We got nurse kissing happening. It's kind of going on for a while. It's still going. It's probably very empathetic. The spirit world seems to have no influence on patients. That's correct. I'm resistant to the pull of the shadow realm.
She has to be made to recall that when you crashed the car, Jody's head smashed into the windshield and she died instantly.
No!
And now it's time to kill the doll.
Kill the doll. What are you talking about? Oh my God.
It's good, isn't it? I found that sledgehammer and red paint in the basement. It's quite realistic, don't you think?
I won't let you do this.
You do it. You show her what you did.
No, please!
You're so afraid of the truth.
Allison, it's time to face the truth.
Leave her alone!
This is what really happened that night in the car. You've been living with a lie too long, and Michael has...
Look how she sleeps, so peacefully. Remember when she was a little baby? We used to sit by her crib, watch her breathe. Her little eyelids flutter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's how we're ending that. Alright, that was a very abrupt ending.